Okay, so let's go and review. So let's go to page 357, and let's go and do the factoring. So let's start with number 2. You have 7c squared minus 63b squared. So whenever you're doing factoring, again, step 1, common factor, you can factor out the 7. So that's step 1. Then step 2, perfect square. Everything's all perfect square, so you go to step 2. So you get the conjugate. So to get c squared, you need to have a c and c. c times c give you c squared. Plus times minus give you minus. 3 times 3 give you 9. b times b give you b squared. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so that's number 2. So let's go to number 4. You have 9x to the 4 minus 36y squared. So again, step 1, common factor. Factor out the 9. Step 2, difference of square. So you get x squared plus minus, and this will give you 2y and 2y. Right? 2 times 2 give you 4, y times y give you y squared, and that's it. So that's your step 1 and step 2. Okay, so let's go to number 6. You have m to the 4 minus 1. So step 1, common factor, cannot. So you go to step 2, special factor. So again, this is the difference of square. So you get m squared plus 1, m squared minus 1. Now this is also the difference of square again. So you have to do this one more time. The sum cannot be factors. So this is step 2(8) again. So to get m squared, you need to have an m times m. To get 1, you need to have 1 times 1. So this is your answer for number 6. Okay, let's go to number 8. You have 6x squared plus 6x plus 12. Step 1, common factor, factor out the 6. Okay, then you go to the step 2. Okay, perfect square. This is not a perfect square. So you go to step 4, master product. So you're going to get 1, and this would be 2. Oh wait, I copied something wrong. This is number 10. Sorry about that. This is 10. Okay, and then check. So 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 cannot. Okay, so that's as far as you can go. So that's it. You cannot do any more, so that's it. Okay, so let's go back to 8. So you got 6x squared plus 15x minus 9. So step 1, common factor, factor out of 3. So step 1, common factor, factor out of 3. Step 2, perfect square. This is not a perfect square. 2 is not a perfect square, right? So you go to step 4, master product. Now master product, you have to multiply these two numbers. So don't just use negative 3, you have to use negative 6. So you go 1 comma negative 6. This will give you correct number. The sign is wrong, so you have to go 6 comma negative 1. Okay, so get 2 set of parentheses. So you're going to get x, 2x. So this is the f, right, for your method, f. So you have to do the inside first. So this will be the inside. So it will be plus 3, right? 2 times 3 give you 6. And this would be the outside. So 1 times negative 1 give you negative 1. And that's it for number 8. Okay. Let's go to number 10. Okay, let's go to number 10. Oh, we did number 10 already. Let's go to 12. Okay, you got 25a squared minus 100. So again, step 1, common factor, factor out of 25. Then step 2, difference of square. So you're going to get a and an a, and you're going to get 2 and a 2. Okay, so let's go to number 14. You have 8 x squared plus 22x minus 6. So step 1, common factor, factor out of 2. Okay, step 2, perfect square. Okay, this is a perfect square, but this is not, so it cannot. So you go to step 4, master product. So you have to use 11 and negative 12. So you need to get 12 comma negative 1. Okay, so you start with x and 4x. So this would be the inside. So it would be plus 3. Right? 4 times 3 give you 12. This would be the outside. So you need to get minus 1. Right? 1 times negative 1 give you negative 1. Again, write down the inside and the outside. It will help you to think. Okay, help you to think through. Okay, let's go to 16. You have x squared y plus 4xy plus 4. So step 1, common factor cannot. Okay, step 2, perfect square. This is not a perfect square. Now, when you go to step 4, master product cannot because you have extra y over here. So this is not factorable. Okay. Now on the test, every problem is factorable. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this kind. Okay, so 18 is not factorable either, so don't worry about this one. So let's go to 20. Okay, so you got 4 m to 3, n to 3 minus m n to the 5. So step 1, common factor, can factor the m, and you can factor the n to the 3. So you're going to get 4m squared minus n squared. So step 2, these are perfect squares, so I mean the difference of squares. So get your conjugate. So to get 4, you need to get 2 and 2. To get m squared, you need to have m and m. To get n squared, you need to have n and n. Okay, and that's it. So that's your step 1 and step 2a. Okay, let's go to 22. You have 2t squared r to the 4 minus 18t to the 4. So step 1, common factor. You have to factor out the 2. You have to factor out the t squared. So you're going to get r to the 4 minus 9t squared left over. So that's your step 1. Then your step 2. This is the difference of squares, so you need to get your conjugate. So to get r to the 4, you need to get r squared. To get minus, you get plus times minus. To get 9, you need to get 3 times 3. To get t squared, you need to get t times t. And that's it. Okay, let's go to number 24. Number 24. Okay, you have xy plus 3y minus 4x minus 12. So step 1, common factor, cannot. So you go to step 2, 4 terms, so it's grouping. So you got xy plus 3y plus negative 4x minus 12. So go ahead and so you can think of a 2 smaller problem. So this one, you can factor out the y. So you get x plus 3 over here. Now that's a negative, so you have to factor out the negative. So you need to factor out the negative 4. So you're going to get x plus 3. So now you have a x plus 3, so it comes out. The leftover would be the y minus 4. Okay, and that's it. Okay, number 26. You have 5x to the 4y plus 20x squared y to the 3. So step 1, common factor, factor out the 5, and the x can factor out x squared and factor out the y. So you're going to get x squared plus 4y squared. So you can step 1, common factor, and then this is the sum, so this is not factorable, so that's it. You're done on this one. Okay, so let's go to 28. So every problem, make sure you go through the checklist. So 28, you have 9x squared plus 36. So step 1, common factor, factor out the 9. So you got x squared plus 4. Step 2, cannot. This is sum. Cannot factor the sum. So this is it. Okay, let's go to 30. You have 12 plus 4x minus 3x squared minus x cubed. So this is in a reverse order, so fine. You can just leave it like that. So step 1, common factor, cannot. Step 2, special factor, 4 terms. So you have to do the grouping. So group the first 2 terms. Again, always put a plus between the group. Okay, so the first group, you can factor out the 4. Over here, when you have negative, you have to factor out the negative. So you have to factor out negative x squared. And so you get 3 plus x left over. Now you got 3 plus x here, you got 3 plus x over here. So factor out the 3 plus x. The leftover would be 4 minus x squared. Now, when you have a square, you have to check. So this is the difference of square. So that's your step 2A. So to get 4, you need to get 2 times 2. To get x squared, you need to get x times x. And so that's it for number 30. Okay, let's go to 32. Number 32, you have AWX plus 5XY minus 4YZ minus 11YZ. Okay, now this one, this one, what you need to do is notice you have the like terms. So first you have to do, you have to combine. So first thing you need to do is combine the like terms. So don't just do things blindly. Okay, so this one you have to combine the like terms. So you got 8wx plus 5xy minus 11yz. Then after that, you try to factor. This is not factorable. Okay. But again, remember on a test, every problem would be factorable. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that kind. Okay, number 34. You have x to the 3 plus 3x squared minus 25x minus 75. So step 1, common factor, cannot. Step 2, 4 terms, so you have to do the grouping. Again, always put a plus between the group, and the negative go along with the terms. So over here, you can factor out the x squared. Over here, you got negatives. You have to factor out the negative. So factor out the negative 25. You get x plus 3. So now, you got x plus 3 and x plus 3. So you can factor out the x plus 3. And your leftover would be x squared minus 25. But now, you have x squared and you have the 25. So this is a difference of square. So you have to recognize that. So you have to factor that into conjugates. So it'd be x and x, right? X times x give you x squared. 5 times 5 give you 25. Okay, and that's it for 34. Okay, 36 is not factorable, so we're not going to worry about that. Okay, 38. You have 10 AC plus 10 AD minus 5 BC minus 5 BD. So step 1, common factor, go and factor out the 5. So you're going to get 2 AC plus 2 AD minus BC minus BD. Right, so step 1, common factor. Then over here, there are 4 terms. So step 2C, you have to use a grouping. So since you're going to use grouping, I'm going to use a bracket. So I can use a parentheses for the inside. Okay, so I group these two, group these two. So now I can factor out the 2A over here I can factor out the b. Minus, sorry. That's a minus over here, so I have to factor the minus, so this becomes plus. There we go. Okay, so now you have c plus d, so I have to factor out. So when you factor out, you're going to get c plus d, and the leftover will be 2a minus b. Okay, now after that you can drop the bracket after that. Okay, you don't need it. The bracket is just there to temporarily to help to keep this in track. Okay. Okay, let's go to number 40. Okay, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to do it right here. Okay, number 40. You have x squared minus 9y squared plus 2x minus 6y. So step 1, common factor cannot. So step 2, grouping. So group these two together. Okay, and then you go in this one. When you're going to factor these, this is the difference of square. So this becomes the x plus 3y and x minus 3y. Okay, so this is the difference of square. You have to factor into that. Okay, the second group you have to factor out the 2. Okay. So again, this is your difference square. That's your step 2a, right? So now you have x minus 3y. So you can take it out. And the leftover would be x plus 3y plus 2. Okay, and that's it for number 40. Okay, so now let's go and do the odd numbers. Okay, so number 1, you got 3a squared minus 75b squared. So step 1, common factor, factor out the 3. So you got a squared minus 25b squared. Then this is step 2a, the difference of square. So it breaks down into conjugates. So to get a squared, you need to have an a and a. To get 25, you need to get 5 and 5. To get b squared, you need to get b and b. Okay, and that's it for number 1. Okay, number 3, you got 4h to the 4 minus 36b squared. So step 1, common factor, factor out the 4. Step 2, this is the difference of square. So get your conjugate. So to get h to the 4, you need to have h squared. To get 9, you need to get 3 times 3. To get b squared, you need to have b times b. So that's your step 2a. Yeah, let's go to number 5. You got x to the 4 minus 16y to the 4. So step 1, common factor, cannot. So you go to step 2, conjugates, right? Difference of square, break into conjugates. So x to the 4, so you need to get x squared and x squared. To get 16, you need to have a 4 and 4. To get y to the 4, you need to have y squared and y squared. Now over here, this is a perfect square minus perfect square again. So that's a difference of square again. This one over here. But the first one is sum. Sum cannot be factored. So leave the first one alone. The second one, you have to factor again. So you have to repeat. So you need to get x times x to get x squared. Plus times minus to give you minus. 2 times 2 to give you 4. Y times y to give you y squared. Right? Again, you just do each one. Right? And that's it for number 5. Okay, let's go to number 7. You have 10x squared plus 25x minus 15. So step 1, common factor. Factor out the 5. Step 2, perfect square. Cannot. These are not perfect square. So you go to step 4, master product. So you can use the 6 comma negative 1. Okay, so 2 times blank equal to 6. Yes, so this is the inside, so it'd be plus 3. Right? 2 times 3 give you 6, and this would be the outside, so it'd be minus 1. 1 times negative 1 give you negative 1. Okay, let's go to number 9. You got 10y squared plus 14y minus 12. So step 1, common factor, factor out the 2. Step 2, perfect square, cannot. This is not a perfect square. So step 4, master product. So again, remember master product, you have to multiply these two numbers. You have to use negative 30. So you go 1 comma negative 30, 2 comma negative 15, 3 comma negative 10. So from here you get negative 7. So you know that the number is correct, but the sign is wrong. So you just switch it. So you're going to 10, negative 3. Okay, and this will give you the correct combination. So you get y, 5y. So 5 times blank equal to 10. Yes, so this is the inside. So it'll be plus 2. 5 times 2 give you 10. So that's your inside. This would be the outside. So to get outside equal to negative 3, you need to have a minus 3, right? 1 times negative 3 give you negative 3. And that's your number 9. Okay, let's go to 11. You have 16x squared minus 36. So step 1, common factor. What can we factor out? 4. We can factor out the 4. So this get 4x squared minus 9. So that's step 1. Now step 2, these are difference of squares. So you can do the conjugate. So to get 4, you need to get 2 times 2. To get x squared, you need to x times x. To get 9, you need to have 3 times 3. And that's it for your number 11. Okay, let's go to number 13. You have 30 w squared plus 27w minus 21. So step 1, common factor. That's going to factor out the 3. So you get 10w squared plus 9w minus 7. Step 2, perfect square. These are not perfect squares. So you go to step 4, master product. So you get 9. Now again, you have to use the negative 70. Okay. And after that, you can start to, again, if you don't know the correct combination right away, just go down the list. So 1 comma negative 70, 2 comma negative 35, 3 cannot, so 4 cannot, 5 comma negative 14. So when you get over here, you know that the number is correct, but sign is wrong. So you need to get 14, negative 5. Okay, now over here, you start with w and 10w, right? So 10 times something equal to 14 cannot. 10 times something equal to negative 5 cannot. So 10 cannot work. But 10 cannot work, so you have to go to the next choice. So instead of use w and 10w, you can go to the next one. Okay? So 5 times blank equal to 14 cannot. 5 times blank equal to 5, negative 5, yes. So this would be your inside. So it would be minus 1. 5 times negative 1 give you negative 5. So this would be the outside. Now to get outside of 14, you need to get plus 7, right? 2 times 7 will give you 14. Okay, so again, inside, 5 times negative 1 give you negative 5. Outside, 2 times 7 give you 14. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go to number 15. You have h squared k minus 4hk plus 4k. So step 1, common factor, I'm going to factor out the k. So I got h squared minus 4h plus 4. Okay, so that's step 1. Now step 2, perfect square. So I'm going to use step 2b, right, perfect square. So I get h. So from this, I get that. From this, I get the 2, and from this I get minus, right? So again, all I'm doing is just guessing. So again, I need to have h to get h squared. I need to get 2 squared give me 4, but I need to have minus to match the middle, right? So I multiply all together. So 2 times negative 2 give me negative 4 and h. So yes, so that's it, right? So that's your step 2b. Okay. Okay, let's go to 17. 81c to the 4 minus 16. So step 1, common factor, cannot. So step 2, so this is difference of square. So I'm going to get conjugates. So I get 9 times 9. 9 times 9 give me 81. And I need to get c squared and c squared to get c to the 4. Now I need 4 times 4 give me 16. Okay? So this is addition, so this is done. But this one, again, this is difference of square again. So I have to factor this one more time. So again, I need to get my conjugate again. So to get 9, I need to get 3 times 3. To get c squared, I need to get c times c. To get 4, I need to get 2 times 2. Okay? And so that's it for 17. Okay, let's go to 19. 5x squared plus 20. So step 1, common factor. Step 2, difference of square. Difference means subtraction. So this is not subtraction. This is addition. So this is it. Cannot factor anymore. So that's it. You're done. Okay, let's go to 21. Got 5 wz squared plus 5 w squared z minus 10 w3. So step 1, common factor. I'm going to factor out the 5 w. So I get z squared plus wz minus 2w squared. Then step 2, perfect square. This is not a perfect square. So you go to step 4, master product. So I get 1 and negative 2. So I need to get 2 comma negative 1. Okay, so to get z squared, I need to get z and z, right? So if there's no number, it's very easy. Whatever I see is whatever I get. So it'll be plus 2 minus 1 and put a w in the back. Okay, now don't put 1w, okay? So once you get 1w, you have to erase the 1. So you don't have extra number in there. So that's it. Okay, let's go to 23. So you got 12x squared y minus 42xy squared plus 36y to the 3. So step 1, common factor. The number I can factor out the 6. The variable I can factor out the y. So I get 2x squared minus 7xy plus 6y squared. So step 2, perfect square. This is not it. So go to step 4, master product. So you have to use negative 7 and 12. Okay, see over here? So 12. So you can go down the list. So I need to get negative 3 and negative 4. Negative 3 times negative 4 give me 12. Negative 3 plus negative 4 give me negative 7. Okay? So you get 2 sets of parentheses. So you need to get x and 2x. So 2 times blank equal to negative 3, cannot. 2 times blank equal to negative 4, yes. So this is the inside. So I need to get minus 2y because there's a y in the back. So you need to have a y in the back. If you have x in the front, that's why you have x in the front. So the outside is negative 3. So to get outside of negative 3, I need to get minus 3. And again, I need to have a y. Okay? And that's it for 23. Okay, so let's go to 25. Okay, so we got 6x cubed y squared minus 12xy to the 4. Okay, so step 1, common factor. You have to factor out the 6 and the x and the y squared. So you're going to get x squared minus 2y squared. Okay, and so you go to step 2, difference of square. This is not a square, so cannot. So that's it. Okay, the master product is only for 3 terms only. Okay, so these 2 terms, so you cannot even do the master product. Okay, 27. You got 3bx squared minus 12 b to the 3y squared. So step 1, common factor. So factor the 3, and the b can come out. So you get x squared minus 4b squared y squared. So step 1, common factor. Step 2, all these are perfect squares, so this is difference of square. So you have to get your 2 sets of parentheses. So to get x squared, I need to have an x and x. To get negative, I need to have a plus times minus to give me minus. To get 4, I need to get 2 and 2. To get b squared, I need to get b and b. To get y squared, I need to get y and y. And that's it. So you just go down each item. Okay, let's go to 29. You have 45 plus 9b minus 5b squared minus b to the 3. So step 1, common factor, cannot. So step 2, 4 terms, so you have to do the grouping. So group the first 2. So over here, you can factor the 9. Over here, when you have negative, you have to factor the negative. So you have to factor the negative b squared. So you got 5 plus b left over. And you got 5 plus b, 5 plus b. So 5 plus b comes out. And you got 9 minus b squared left over. And again, you have to recognize that this is a difference of square. It's a square minus square. So you have to get your conjugate. So to get 9, I need to get 3 times 3. To get b squared, I need to get b times b. Okay. Let's go to 31. Okay, you have 3xy plus 2 xz minus axw plus 3xz. So notice this one you have an xz and you got xz, right? So you need to go and combine the like terms. So combine that. So you're going to get 3xy plus 5xz minus axw. And up to that, you cannot do anything up to that. Okay? Because there's no more square and there's no common factor, so you cannot do any more up to that. So this one is just combining the like terms. Let's go to 33. You have x to the 4 minus 2x squared plus 1. So step 1, common factor, cannot. Okay, so you go to step 2. This is a perfect square. Okay, so this would be x to the 2. X squared give you x to the 4. And you need to get minus 1, right? So again, you're matching. So 1 squared will give you 1. So you use this to get this one here. You use this one to get this one. Then you have to check, see if it match the middle. So 2 times negative 1 times x squared, it match, right? But notice over here. So this one is the difference of square. So you have to factor this again. So now I'm going to use a bracket. Okay, I'm going to convert this into bracket because I can do something else inside. So inside, I can make into x plus 1, x minus 1. Okay? So now notice that this is square for each one of that. So I can distribute inside. So I end up with x plus 1 square, x minus 1 square. Right? I'm just distribute to get rid of my bracket. And so that's it. Okay. Okay, 35. Okay, I have y to the 8 minus 1. So step 1, common factor, cannot. Step 2, okay, this is the difference of squares, so I'm going to get my conjugate. So to get y to the 8, I need to get y to the 4, y to the 4. To get 1, I need to get 1 and 1. So this is done, but this one you have to keep going. So I get conjugate again. So to get y to the 4, I need to get y squared, y squared. To get 1, I need to get 1 times 1. Now this is the difference of square again, so I have to do it one more time. So to get y squared, I need to get y and y. To get 1, I need to get 1 and 1. And so that's it. Okay? Okay, let's go to 37. I have an a squared minus 4b squared plus 2a plus 4b. Step 1 cannot. Step 2, okay, grouping. So this is the difference of square. So this one would be my conjugate. So I need to get a times a. This one I need to get 2b times 2b. Okay, over here I need to factor out the 2, and I get a plus 2b. Okay, so now notice this one I have a plus 2b. I got a plus 2b. So a plus 2b comes out. And the leftover would be a minus 2b plus 2. Okay, these are the leftover. So again, when I take it out, it's gone, right? So that's how I get the a minus 2b plus 2. Okay, number 39. You got 6EF plus 3GF minus 12EH minus 9GH. So again, 4 terms, so step 1, common factor cannot. So step 2, grouping. Okay, so factor out the 3f. So you get 2e plus g. Over here, I need to factor out the negative 3h. So I get 4e. Okay, let me double check. 6e3. So factor out the 3. Yep. Yeah, so this is not going to work. Okay, let's go back. So step 1, factor out the 3. And you get 2EF plus GF. Yeah, we have to do step 1 first. Yeah, got carried away. And after that, if you try to group, it's not going to work. So this is as far as you can go, and that's it. Okay.